All of this, and you can see just how chilly it is. Minneapolis sitting at 9, 26 in Sioux Falls, and then the western half of South Dakota at 42 in Rapid City, even North Platte, Nebraska, sitting at 39 this afternoon. The Mile High City enjoying a high of 55 degrees right now. We do have some warmer air headed our way for tomorrow before that front really impacts us and drops our temperatures back on Sunday. Cloudy skies right now. The winds are a bit breezy, coming in from the south at 16 miles an hour. And even though it's a cool day today, this is a big recovery considering we started with a morning low of 7. We've jumped up to 33 degrees this afternoon. As far as our overall weather headlines for today, fluctuating temperatures going into the weekend. Chances for snow this weekend, maybe even a little bit of a mix of some sprinkles and, a little wintry mix potentially late tomorrow night. Snow and cold also going to be in the forecast for next week. So a very active weather pattern setting up here for the next several days. Now, as far as the system, what time it will arrive tomorrow afternoon, we'll start to see the wind shift taking place. We'll go from the south to the northwest. Kind of comes through dry for us. Again, maybe a few little spotty sprinkles here and there throughout the early afternoon. I'm not really anticipating a whole lot. No major travel concerns for tomorrow. Sunday morning, this little wave back to the north of us as this cold pressure area of high pressure off to the north of us really ushers in the biggest changes. We'll see some snow early in the morning on Sunday, and I'm not anticipating that this is going to be a huge snowmaker for us. We're looking at very light accumulations, and I'll show you those amounts here in just a moment, but we'll continue to see more snow developing here, especially over the central and southern half of the state late in the afternoon. Drier conditions in the afternoon on Sunday, and we could actually see some clearing, but those temperatures are going to drop. The winds will increase, and much colder air will be settling in here, and we still have more chances for snow in the forecast as we go into Monday, Tuesday, and possibly even Friday of next week. As far as the overall snow accumulation, the preliminary forecast right now showing us that we won't see anything really adding up tomorrow night. It's only early Sunday morning. Most of this should be out of here by around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're expecting that some of the heavier accumulating snow will be down to the south off to the west of us, about a half an inch, maybe an inch in some isolated spots across eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. We'll keep fine-tuning that forecast as the system gets closer to us, but again, this is not expected to be a major snowmaker for us. Temperature-wise, we start off with south winds. Not too bad in the morning. 20s, 30s. And then as we go through the afternoon, here comes the front. At around lunchtime, we'll be at probably in the 30s, 40s for afternoon highs, mid to even upper 40s. A great day temperature-wise for tomorrow. And then the front starts to move through. Cloudy skies throughout the day. Getting a little sprinkle here or there. Better chances for snow late Saturday night going into Sunday. Afternoon high temperatures for tomorrow, 43 in Crescent, 44 from Ralston, La Vista, Papillion, and even around the Millard area, Elkhorn and Valley, projecting a high of 44 for your Saturday afternoon. 26 for tonight, not nearly as cold as we had this morning, and we're expecting partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Again, maybe a little sprinkle here or there. Mild temperature of 45 degrees, and you'll notice this extended forecast here. Big drop. We go from 45 down to 17 on Sunday. And best chances for snow, I think, will be here before noon. Out of here, slight chance on Monday, and then even going into Tuesday. We might see some light accumulation occurring with these next couple of rounds moving in, but overall, we need the moisture desperately, but not going to see substantial snowfall in the forecast here. Maybe that Thursday, Friday time frame, models seem to be leaning at a little bit higher amounts for us, so something we'll be watching very closely. But the one thing coming our way here, the cold air. It's going to stick around even into next week. Afternoon highs are going to be below average, and those morning lows in the single digits and teens.
So enjoy tomorrow if you can.
Yeah, enjoy tomorrow. Not too bad at all with a high of 45 degrees.
All right, thanks, Jen.
All right.
The sports complex at Tranquility Park hosts soccer fields, and soon they'll get an upgrade.
That's right. Local soccer groups are excited to someday play on a turf field. 3 News Now reporter Nick Starling has those details.
Currently, the grass here at the Tranquility Park Sports Complex is real grass, but pretty soon it will be synthetic turf as this place gets a makeover to host big sporting events.
This will be Omaha's first outdoor synthetic turf field, which will go here at Tranquility Park. This park has several soccer fields, but just one will get the makeover. One sports team who plays on these fields all the time is Sporting Omaha FC. Executive Director Tim Bennett says this upgrade will be a game changer.
We don't have to necessarily worry about rainouts. We don't necessarily have to worry about the time change and the lighting change. That at least there's some games that are able to go on despite those obstacles.
Bennett says sometimes they have to cancel weeks in their season because of the field conditions.
Coming up in our later newscast, I'll tell you about a bill currently being heard by legislators today that could affect sports complexes just like this one. Reporting at Tranquility Park, Nick Starling, 3 News Now.
Raising awareness about heart health in a very sweet, warm way. We've told you before about knitting hats for the American Heart Association's Little Hats, Big Hearts campaign. Today we'll introduce you to one of the first bundles of joy to receive a tiny red hat.
That's so cute. And tonight at 5, state leaders and families celebrated the return of Nebraska Army National Guard members. Today, as dozens of Army reservists prepare to head off to Kuwait, the emotional homecomings and send-offs. That's at 5.
Game night is high school basketball. And no one covers high school basketball like Omaha Sports Insider.
On air, online, the largest broadcast sports team.
Bringing you the most games,
the best matchups, and it's just getting bigger.
The comprehensive coverage of Metro sports and beyond.
OSI Game Night, tonight at 10, only on KMTV3. Brought to you by Wendy's.
Don't miss Legacy Homes Valentine's Open House, Saturday, February 10th from 11 to 3. Come explore hands-on displays and win prizes during the Valentine's Open House, Saturday, February 10th at the Legacy Homes Design Studio, 120th and McDermott, across from Cabela's.
For all you do, in all the ways you do it, Nebraska Furniture Mart fits your lifestyle. So we have deals in all departments. Every workout, every new addition, every room. Find home furnishings for all your life. This Samsung 4K QLED TV is $1,300 off suggested retail. This reclining sofa with drop-down table is only $449. Use 20-month financing on qualifying purchases. All departments, all categories. Save now at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Plus, enter to win a free trip to Italy.
Okay, I'm going grocery shopping.
So what's next?
We should probably get the groceries.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're all set.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you!
Save $5 on your ClickList order of $50 or more. Download your coupon at bakersplus.com or on the app.
The skills you can develop in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your interests in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Gain practical experience with emerging technology and equipment that you can transfer to an exciting new field. Get a head start on your career while serving part-time and earning money to pay for college. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
The newest members of our community are making a statement.
We've told you before how you could knit or crochet hats as part of the American Heart Association's Little Hats, Big Hearts campaign. Today, for Your Family Now, we're meeting one of the first babies to receive this adorable gift this year.
Scary, but exciting at the same time, because you created something. I'm gonna start crying. I'm really emotional. You created something just between us.
Aaron and Ethan Blackledge are living the emotions many first-time parents feel. Penelope, the first baby born at Methodist Women's Hospital this month, is perfectly healthy. But Mom knows that's not always the case. She was born with a heart defect.
I was born with a hole in my heart, yep. So I had a hole in my heart till I was 5. And then it just closed up.
1 in 110 babies are born with a congenital heart defect.
The American Heart Association's Little Hats, Big Hearts campaign is raising awareness about heart health. They called on the community to knit and crochet hats for babies born in February. They'll be handed out at 28 participating hospitals in Nebraska and Council Bluffs.
We have so many wonderful volunteers and friends of the Heart Association who are donating both their time and talent.
2,000 little red hats will be distributed throughout Nebraska, and a lot are going to Methodist Women's Hospital. That's because 1 in every 5 babies born in the state are born right here.
Last year we gave out 408, and we anticipate doing something very close to that this year.
Alexa Lewis, who is a service leader for the Mother Baby Unit, appreciates that the campaign also triggers parents to think about themselves.
It's that personal touch, that personal story, reminding them to slow down and take their health as serious as their child's health.
A reminder moms and dads may need when they're holding so much of their heart in their arms.
Definitely puts things in perspective. So it's not all about us anymore. It's more focused on her.
Oh, she's such a sweetie. Well, they've done this campaign for a few years, so if you knit or crochet, you might want to start thinking about next year. Also, I'm really excited to be emceeing the American Heart Association's Heart Ball. That's tomorrow night in La Vista.
Really great event. Such a great thing to be a part of.
They're fantastic causes and proud to be part of it.
Wonderful. Well, it looks like winter will be sticking around. Let's go to meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin.
Well, guys, Groundhog Day today, and we've been talking about the predictions. Well, Puxatawny Phil ended up, not seeing his shadow, and so he says that winter's going to stick around. But locally, a couple of our local resident rodents actually said that, spring is going to begin a little ahead of schedule. Wouldn't that be nice? Right now, officially, 46 days until the official kickoff to spring. But it looks like this weekend, the winter is going to hang around here. Slight chance for some sprinkles for tomorrow, and afternoon high temperatures rising into the 40s. So it'll feel a little bit more like spring tomorrow. However, big change will be arriving on Sunday, and that is going to drop our temperatures back into the teens. Decent chance that we will see some snow early Sunday morning, and this isn't the only round of snow that'll be impacting us. Even going into early Monday morning, another round of snow. So some moisture coming our way here, definitely much needed at this point. We are way down as far as our snow totals for the entire year at this point. Now, as far as that forecast on the projected, at least snow totals at this point, we are looking at very little for Sunday morning's event. About 1/10 to maybe 1/4 of an inch. We'll continue to keep fine-tuning the forecast and let you know if anything alters or changes here in the upcoming newscast. Back to you, Jenny.
You've heard about the dangers of drunk driving, but have you ever heard of hangover driving? Coming up, a simulator that shows us how hazardous getting behind the wheel with a hangover can be.
We're here to inspire you with the largest collection of home goods anywhere, no matter what you need or want. Furniture, flooring, appliances, and electronics. It's all in one time and money-saving place. Nebraska Furniture Mart. Come explore our store. See, touch, test, make it your own. Find it quick with help from trained sales professionals. The basics, the best. The finishing touches. Nebraska Furniture Mart. We make the place you live, the place you love.
Ice! What ice? Found it.
Uh-oh, better get Mako. For a limited time, Mako's half-off paint sale starts as low as $2.49. Mako, America's Body Shop.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Mike DiGiacomo, Kelly Nyberg. The Morning Blend, weekdays at 9 on KMTV.
Markets took a big hit today at closing after a week-long slide. Today, the Dow plunged more than 600 points. It's the worst week for ending stocks in 2 years.
If you plan to party on Super Bowl Sunday, you may want to think twice about how you get to work on Monday. It turns out driving with a hangover can be just as bad as drunk driving.
CBS News correspondent Laura Podesta put on a suit developed by Ford. It simulates a hangover. She even got behind the wheel to demonstrate the dangers.
The excitement of watching the Super Bowl can lead to overindulging. If your party does go into overtime, you may be feeling a little queasy the next day.
Is hangover driving as bad as drunk driving?
It is. A lot of people don't realize that when the alcohol wears off, it's still just as bad.
To simulate the feeling of being sleep deprived, lethargic, and distracted the morning after a night out, Ford developed this suit.
I'm just going to have you duck under here.
I put on a heavy vest along with ankle and wrist weights, plus glasses to distort my vision.
I can tell it's making everything a little blurry.
And a headset with an aggravating soundtrack.
It's like a doo-doo-doo-doo, so like almost a blood pumping sound.
Like I have a really bad headache.
Then I got behind the wheel. A simple slalom course was tough to get through. My wrists are so heavy it's hard to turn the wheel. I feel like I'm going straight over the cone.
You're not. All right, now go around. Wait, go a little straight. There you go. Now give this one, give yourself some break, and now cut over. Yep, nope, cut over. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Hungover driver?
We can laugh in this situation, but in the real world, experts say driving hungover is no joke. Richard Mallow is an executive director at Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
A headache, a migraine, your sluggishness will always impact how you drive.
Both he and Ford's Stephanie Dunham recommend having a designated driver not only if you're drinking, but the next day too. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Wayne, New Jersey.
Really interesting there. Tesla is bringing its high-end solar gear to the home improvement retail market.
The auto company expanded its sustainable energy footprint back in 2016 after buying a solar company. Bloomberg reports Tesla plans to start selling its own solar gear in Home Depot locations across the country. Tesla said solar panel systems can cost anywhere between $10,000 and $25,000. The Mars Curiosity rover looks to be having fun taking selfies on the red planet.
Yeah, take a look at this. Kind of reminds you of a scene out of that Disney movie, WALL-E. This is from NASA. If you look just behind the rover's mast, you can see Mount Sharp. Now, Curiosity has been based there since landing on Mars 5 years ago. Mount Sharp provides Curiosity with access to the red planet's layers. Snapchat's parent company has introduced a new potential revenue stream. It's called the Snap Store.
Bustle reports the new feature launched today in the app with a dancing hot dog plushie, wink face sweatshirt, a streak hat, and other official merchandise to access the Snap Store. Snapchatters should visit the store's website and scan the Snap code found there.
Still ahead on Upfront at 4, a dramatic day in court. The father of 3 girls abused by a convicted sexual predator and former USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar couldn't hold back his feelings on court. You see it there. How the judge responded to this outburst. That's next.
Do you have trouble falling asleep? Do you toss and turn all night or wake up with a sore neck or headache? Then it's time you discovered MyPillow.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 10 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota. Call now or go to mypillow.com. Use the promo code on your screen to save over 50% on one of my best offers ever.
Other pillows go flat, causing you to fold them over or use your arm for support, which can cause pain. Hard foam pillows can raise your head too high, making you very uncomfortable. But the revolutionary MyPillow has patented fill that won't go flat and keeps your neck supported and aligned to your exact individual need. MyPillow helps you get and stay in deep sleep all night long.
Before MyPillow, sleeping was a nightmare. First night I got it, slept like a baby. Just was out, completely out.
I sleep better. I wake up, I feel refreshed, I feel healthy.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
I personally guarantee that MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own. And now you can save over 50% on one of my best offers ever. You get 2 MyPillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. Call the number on your screen or go to mypillow.com. Use the promo code and save over 50%.
Don't delay. Get one of Mike's best offers ever when you use this promo code. Save over 50% on Mike's 4-pack. Order now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Heart disease is the nation's #1 killer and the leading cause of birth defects. Join me for the American Heart Association's annual Heart Ball, February 3rd at Embassy Suites La Vista. Get your tickets now and make a difference in our community.
A father was led back into a Michigan courtroom in handcuffs on Friday afternoon. Randall Margraves faced a judge and contempt charges and delivered an apology.
It came after he attempted to attack Larry Nassar, the former sports doctor accused of sexually abusing 3 of his daughters. Kenneth Craig reports.
I lost control. I apologized 100 times.
A distraught father apologized to a judge after his courtroom outburst during Larry Nassar's sentencing hearing.
I'm definitely calmed down. I'm embarrassed. I'm not here to upstage my daughters. I'm here to help them heal.
Randall Margraves was arraigned in the same courtroom where just hours earlier, for the very first time, he heard 2 of his daughters tell their stories of sexual abuse.
When I was 13, just a kid, laying on a table at MSU.
A third daughter had also accused Nassar of abuse.
Well, I'm gonna have to get something on.
Margraves lost control.
I want that son of a.
The judge said his outburst amounted to direct contempt, but she would not punish his behavior.
And I accept your apology on behalf of the court.
The chaos erupted on the second day of victim impact statements during Nassar's final sentencing hearing. This one centers on his assaults on athletes from the elite Twistars Gymnastics Club.
Larry, you've turned my entire universe upside down.
The tensions have been mounting over nearly 2 weeks of court hearings, where hundreds of women have recounted the trauma they suffered under the guise of medical treatments. His sentences guarantee Nassar will spend the rest of his living days behind bars. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
The father faced a jail time and a fine, but he was released after his arraignment. Under Nassar's plea agreement, the final sentencing calls for a minimum of 25 to 40 years.
Live look outside, the view from our Harris cam at the downtown skyline. We will check in with traffic and see how your Friday evening commute is looking coming up next.
Hi, I'm Troy Trum with the Trum Real Estate Team. Who you hire to sell your home makes a difference in how much you get for your home. The Trum team can get more money for your home in half the time of traditional real estate agents. If you can't find the perfect home, call me, because I have access to many homes for sale that no one else knows about. We sell over 100 homes a year, and we guarantee to sell yours, or we'll buy it ourselves. For your home dream, call the Trum team at 402-884-4848.
We're here to help inspire the moments you want in your home. Because it's not just a couch, or chair, or table. They're the pieces that set the stage for the life you want. Helping you do what you love with the people you love. Because that's what we love. We're here to help the place you live become the place you love. We're Nebraska Furniture Mart.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
If you're a fan of CBS Sunday Morning,
then you're going to love Omaha Sunday Morning. With our content partners at the Omaha World Herald, we bring you local stories that inform and inspire.
It's his final chemo treatment at the Nebraska Med Center.
Start your Sunday with Omaha Sunday Morning.
Followed by CBS Sunday Morning.
Sunday morning starting at 7:30 right here on KMTV3.
The KMTV 3 News Now Weather Alert Team, using the best technology, keeping you connected to road conditions and school closings, on air and on your phone. Jennifer Zeppelin, Ryan McPike, Audra Moore, and Mark Stitz, keeping you safe with up-to-the-minute forecasts. Wherever you are, stay connected with the KMTV 3 News Now Weather Alert Team. Traffic Now, sponsored by Rebath. We make it easy to remodel and love your entire bathroom.
Scientists studying polar bears in the Arctic say climate change is having a bigger impact on the animals than first thought.
Now some amazing video is helping researchers track polar bears' every move. Terry Okita has more from London.
With Arctic temperatures at 20 degrees below zero, this is as close to a polar bear selfie as scientists can get. The cameras, attached to tracking collars, are providing new insight into how the threatened species hunts, eats, and mates.
Really quite fascinating to learn the basic behaviors of these animals.
The U.S. Geological Survey followed 9 female polar bears off the coast of Alaska at springtime over a 3-year period, equipping them with a GPS collar similar to a Fitbit. They logged the animals' behavior on sea ice, which is vital for hunting.
How often they're actually catching seals, how often they're actually spending trying to catch seals.
Scientists found climate change and shrinking ice cover are making it impossible for bears to catch enough prey to meet their body's needs. They actually lost weight instead of putting on the pounds needed to reproduce, care for cubs, and survive harsh winters. Zookeepers in Britain say at some point bears in captivity may be needed to help boost the wild population. They created a state-of-the-art breeding enclosure at a zoo in Scotland, and it worked. In December, a polar bear cub was born in Britain for the first time in a quarter century. Terry Okita, CBS News, London.
The Super Weekend Rush is underway with heavy volume early on the interstate, the main thoroughfares. 69th and Maple, we have police, fire, and rescue working an injury accident at that location. A water main break is icing things down. 71st and Lake Street, crews were working there. And just in now, 85th and Q Street, numerous police units dispatched to a crowd fighting in a parking lot, 85th and Q. Let's take a look at Midtown traffic from I-80 at 72nd Street. It shows a lot of pressure in both directions, east and westbound on the I-80, but still no major delays to deal with between the splits. We did have an early push in the 4 o'clock hour. That may be helping with the drive times in front of the 5 o'clock hour as everything's still flowing along at or near the posted speeds. New barricades to deal with today. 10th Street restricted to 1 lane northbound at Mike Fahey Street. It's going to be that way for the next 2 weeks. I'm Jeff Larson. That's your traffic update on 3 News Now.
Emotional moments during a special homecoming. State leaders and families celebrate the return of Nebraska Army National Guard members from duty in Africa. They return as another group of Nebraska heroes gets ready for duty overseas. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Griswold.
And I'm Lindsay Thies. Craig is off tonight. Dozens of Army reservists will begin their journey to Kuwait very soon. 3 News Now reporter Megan Stewart joins us with more. Hey, Megan.
Hey, Jen and Lindsay. Well, it's not often that both a warm welcome home and a farewell send-off take place in the same day.
At a farewell ceremony this morning, around 100 Army Reserve soldiers and their 300 loved ones packed into Salem Baptist Church in Omaha.
I just appreciate the support of the friends, family, community.
Anthony De La Rosa says each day away is hard. His unit is heading to Kuwait in the coming weeks after a stop at Fort Bragg.
It helps in a sense to have gone more than once because you know what to expect, but it doesn't get any easier. But it's the catch of the profession.
But he and his fellow soldiers live for moments like this. Also today in Lincoln, a group of citizen soldiers welcomed home by friends and family.
It's great to be back, to see all the people that support us throughout our deployment, and to be reunited with our families.
6 Nebraska National Guard members returned from the Horn of Africa, happy to have served.
It is truly an honor and a privilege to say, welcome home.
We're really glad to have them home. We're just so blessed and thankful that they got home safely and that nothing too exciting happened, and now it's just normal, just the normal.
And family ecstatic to have them home.
The Army reservists hope to be home by Christmas. Reporting live in the studio, Megan Stewart, 3 News Now.
The area's impact on the military will be in full force tomorrow with the focus on Omaha. The USS Omaha will be commissioned in San Diego. Mayor Gene Stothert and Congressman Don Bacon will be there along with the ship's sponsors, former Governor and Senator Bob Kerrey and Susie Buffett. Kerrey earned the Medal of Honor for his service in Vietnam as a Navy SEAL. Buffett helped christen the combat ship in December 2015. Tomorrow she will give the order to man our ship and bring her to life.
It's a little bit warmer tonight, but there is still plenty of wind. Let's take a live look outside first, 5:01 at our downtown skyline. Harris, Council Bluffs cam. Pretty chilly today still, though. Pretty bad. Meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin joins us with what's next.
Well, guys, you know what? After a little bit of some snow showers, a very brief little shot of some moisture earlier this morning at about 10 o'clock this morning, it's all melted, so it didn't really add up to a whole lot on the ground and only lasted maybe about a half an hour or so. Now that's all exited off to the east of us. The cloud cover's been a bit stubborn, though, this afternoon and this evening. And even though we are looking at those strong south winds, it certainly did help to bump those temperatures up. We started off with 7 this morning. We've now spiked up to about 33 degrees, right above freezing. Most locations, again, did see a nice recovery after such a cold start this morning. But it's those steady south winds that are making it feel even colder outside. Usually a south wind gives us warmer air, but along with that, we're still pretty cold at the surface. And look at what it feels like outside, teens and 20s on the current wind chill readings. For the next few hours, the rest of yours this evening, if you do have plans to head outdoors, going to dinner, or just doing some shopping at all, well, we're looking at temperatures staying in the 30s here up until about 9 p.m. and then dropping into the upper 20s by around midnight. I'll talk more about a fluctuation in temperatures going into the weekend. Plus, we have a couple more chances for snow as well.
Thanks, Jen. We are learning more details tonight about new training Omaha police will go through after a man died in police custody. Police tell our partners at the Omaha World Herald all officers will get training on how to better deal with Native American cultures. It comes after Zachary Bearhill's death last June. Police say the first group of about 60 officers went through the training in December. The rest will take the hour-and-a-half class in June.
Omaha police and other officers are in Colorado tonight. They're paying their respects for a fallen deputy. Omaha police tweeted out this picture of its 4 officers who helped with the casket guard for Deputy Heath Gumm's funeral service. Investigators say the Adams County deputy died after a wanted man shot him during a chase last week. And thousands of law enforcement officers from across the country lined the procession route for today's funeral. You see the hearse there. They were joined by others with flags and handmade signs. Deputy Gumm's father told the crowd, "Thank you for honoring our son," during the funeral service. And check this out. 2 Lincoln police officers were also there. They posted this picture with this message. It says, quote, "Godspeed, Deputy Gumm. I hope this is the last time we have to go to one of these for a very long time."
The latest numbers show Nebraska is still dealing with widespread flu. The state health numbers now show 33 flu-related deaths since October. In that time, nearly 1,400 people tested positive for influenza. Iowa health officials confirmed the flu played a role in 43 deaths. Nationally, the Centers for Disease Control says the number of hospitalizations is now the highest it has seen.
To campaign 2018 coverage now, Senator Deb Fischer is officially in the U.S. Senate race. The first-term Republican filed for re-election today with the Nebraska Secretary of State. Fischer already faces at least 2 opponents in the May primary. They include retired UNO math professor Jack Heidel. He announced his candidacy last week. Also facing off, Todd Watson. He ran against Senator Ben Sasse back in 2014 as an independent. Right now, Jane Raybould is the only major Democrat in the race.
Speed did not turn out to be enough for a number of area Elton John fans today. It's more than a year away, but tickets to his concert at the CenturyLink Center sold out nearly as soon as they went on sale to the public this morning. John is calling this his farewell tour as he wants to spend more time with his 2 children. His show is at the CenturyLink Center. It's set for February 12th next year.
Restaurants around the metro are preparing for a big day Sunday.
They're ready for customers rushing in to watch the Super Bowl or grab some carryout for a Super Bowl party. Reporter Andrea Braswell is live at Valentino's on West Center, where they're expecting a 50% spike in business. Andrea.
Yeah, guys, and it's a busy day even today in the kitchen, but it'll be even busier this weekend for these guys because all that Super Bowl work starts tomorrow.
Super Bowl Sunday is around the corner, and pizza and wing spots around the metro are expecting a big jump in business.
Super Bowl Sunday, it's one of our biggest days of the year. We increase volume by about 50%. We go through a lot of pizzas. We have to bring in a lot of extra staffing and do a lot of extra production.
For this Valentino's off West Center, the work starts Saturday.
We'll start getting a lot of calls tomorrow for pre-orders, and then early Sunday morning is when the phones start ringing.
Manager John Novacek says he's worked Super Bowl Sunday for the last 15 years.
It's a lot of work packed into about 10 hours. Once the game starts, business kinds to slow down until halftime, and then it picks back up again, and we see a little rush at the end of the game as well.
Novacek says typically there are only about 6 people working Sundays, but this Sunday there will be at least 15.
We have to order a lot of extra product in. We fill our coolers as full as we can.
And it's those big Super Bowl parties Valentino says keep staff busy.
Some people that order large amounts of pizzas for big parties, they'll order about 100 wings, 10 pizzas. Those are the fun ones. Yeah.
All right, guys, and as you can see, the station, the method they have going on right now, but the manager tells me it's actually going to be 3 people on Sunday getting all those orders together, 1 person saucing, 1 person cheesing, and 1 person putting all those toppings on. They're expecting to sell around 400 pizzas on Sunday. For now, I'm live at Valentino's. Andrea Braswell, 3 News Now.
And now I'm hungry for pizza. Me too. Just like that. Go Big Red takes on a whole new meaning this weekend, with many showing off the color.
Who's wearing it and why the bold color is more than just a matter of fashion. That's next.
Plus, if imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, consider us flattered. How 6th graders are using TV to improve their school day.
You're watching KMTV 3 News Now with Jennifer Griswold, Craig Negrelli, and Weather Alert Team meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin. This is KMTV 3 News Now, live at 5.
On the next list, look to the stars this Valentine's Day.
Should you consider your mate's zodiac sign?
Absolutely. Heavenly Love with Zodiac Romance.
Tonight at 6:30 on KMTV 3. The 3 News Now Mobile Storm Tracker, sponsored by Jensen Tire and Auto.
For all you do, in all the ways you do it, Nebraska Furniture Mart fits your lifestyle. So we have deals in all departments. Every workout, every new addition, every room. Find home furnishings for all your life. This Samsung 4K QLED TV is $1,300 off suggested retail. This reclining sofa with drop-down table is only $449. Use 20-month financing on qualifying purchases. All departments, all categories. Save now at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Plus, enter to win a free trip to Italy.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned.
Call or go to mypillow.com. Use the promo code and save over 50% with Mike's 4-pack. You'll get 2 MyPillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. It's one of his best offers ever. Order now.
With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
The news that connects with your life. You want to see it now. You want to know it now. KMTV 3 News Now. Live weather, street conditions, and breaking news. Newscasts that go beyond the day's headlines.
We went to talk to the homeowner again.
Digging deeper,
the school board
bringing your world into focus wherever you are. See the difference now. Stay connected with KMTV 3 News Now.
This isn't just a case of twinning. Wearing red is much more than a color choice tonight.
In fact, it could be a life-saving fashion statement. Today is the American Heart Association's National Wear Red Day. The goal to get more people informed about the risks and encourage people to check in with their doctors. You can see local signs of support by following the hashtag Omaha Goes Red. This was last year.
Yeah.
Even the Henry Dorley Zoo and the Woodman Life Tower are showing off their red.
Just a few months ago, a hardworking group of 6th graders at Tarkio Elementary School in Missouri started their own TV station.
Recently, the group wanted to get some inspiration and check out a real TV operation, so they came to Omaha. Morning anchor Emily Zink shows them around.
Welcome to TES TV.
About an hour and a half southeast of Omaha, you can find the next generation of journalists.
This is Tommy and Claire.
The televised morning announcements hit the airwaves at Tarkio Elementary School in November.
I pulled these guys into a meeting and I said,
we're going to try this. I don't know what we're going to do, and I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try it.
Instructor Sydney Rolfe says an old classroom now acts as a newsroom. The students write their own scripts and shoot and edit their video.
This is our green screen and news desk.
The announcements include weather, student activities, and of course, a lunch menu.
That's delicious.
Being sixth graders, they were curious to see how a real TV station operates.
Hello, Tarkio sixth graders. That's cool.
Yeah. So we gave them a crash course in TV 101.
So do you kind of find yourselves knowing a lot more that's going on every day than your classmates? Really?
The fun really started when they stepped into the studio.
So look at yourself in this monitor.
Oh my gosh.
Ian Stepp says he liked the virtual set. He acted as the station's weatherman for a while.
I like all the kids who come up to me, and when I was doing the weather, I liked all the kids that would come up to me and be like, hey, you gave us bad weather today.
Mrs. Rolfe says she is beyond proud of this group.
Their enthusiasm is amazing. They really put a lot of effort and time into it.
Of course, I wanted to see all their hard work.
3, 2, go.
Good morning, Tarkio Elementary School.
I had just a few pointers.
Come off the bat with energy. Good morning, Tarkio Elementary School.
But they were basically pros.
What is Beethoven's favorite fruit? A banana.
The students say they learned a lot and will take it all back to Tarkio and continue to grow.
We're going to smile a lot.
Be enthusiastic more.
Enjoy it a lot.
Enjoy a little bit more. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
They're fantastic.
I think they have a lot of energy. I like the Mozart joke, too.
I know. I don't know if I can do it. She's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's Groundhog Day, and Punxsutawney Phil had his say about winter, but should we believe him?
Some in Nebraska say not so fast what a local groundhog saw when searching for his shadow. That's next.
And on this Groundhog Day, it was a chilly start. 7 degrees is where we started the day off, but we managed to make it to 34 this afternoon, closer to normal for this time of the year. Big fluctuation in temperatures going into the weekend. I'll have all those numbers coming up after the break.
Game night is high school basketball. And no one covers high school basketball like Omaha Sports Insider.
On air, online, the largest broadcast sports team.
Bringing you the most games,
the best matchups, and it's just getting bigger.
The comprehensive coverage of Metro sports and beyond.
OSI Game Night, tonight at 10, only on KMTV3. Brought to you by Wendy's.
Thinking with your heart is important. It means you're courageous and compassionate. At CHI Health, we put more heart into our heart care to uncover new advancements and keep hearts beating strong. CHI Health. Imagine that.
Today we're finally getting our bathtub redone. We weren't happy with it.
Oh, we didn't want the headaches of demolition.
Or the days without our bathroom. Then a friend told us about Bath Fitter and their unique tub-over-tub process. There's no demolition, and they install in as little as a day. They also have a seamless wall for a watertight fit. And Bath Fitter has a lifetime guarantee. What a difference. Finally, a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. I never thought that it would stop me from playing basketball with my kids. Never thought that it would give me a scar like this. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
You can quit. For free help, call or visit the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line.
The KMTV 3 News Now Weather Alert Team, using the best technology, keeping you connected to road conditions and school closings, on air and on your phone. Jennifer Zeppelin, Ryan McPike, Audra Moore, and Mark Stitz, keeping you safe with up-to-the-minute forecasts. Wherever you are, stay connected with the KMTV 3 News Now Weather Alert Team. Mike DiGiacomo, Kelly Nyberg. The Morning Blend, weekdays at 9 on KMTV. Louisville, thanks for watching KMTV3.
I see my royal shadow. 6 more weeks of winter to go.
Sounds like there's some booze there. Yikes. That was the word from one of the world's most famous forecasters, Punxsutawney Phil. The Pennsylvania town had the traditional celebration. In case you missed it, Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Darn. While Punxsutawney Phil gets more national attention, there's a local forecasting rodent who is giving him a run for his money.
He's Unadilla Bill, and he checked out his shadow in Otoe County and came up with his own prediction. 3 News Now photojournalist Sean Kelly was there to find out what he saw.
Will Shad be a shadow judger this morning? You and Brody? Yeah? Brody will show you the ropes. I'm, I guess you could call me the founder of the Groundhog Central Committee. And we've been having our celebration officially since 1988. Okay guys, 2-minute warning, 7:33. Get the kids in here. Now you know that if he sees his shadow, it's 6 more weeks of winter. And if he doesn't see a shadow, spring's right around the corner. He's a forecaster that actually hits more than 50% of his forecasts right. Now you see the sun over there? It's supposed to come up at 7:33. And do you guys see it? I don't see a shadow, do you? Let's confirm that. Okay. Bill says, go ahead. And he'll make the forecast. I've got it here. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm so sick and tired of winter snow. Now an early spring will show. So we're going to have an early spring. This is his 4th forecast in a row for that.
Oh yeah? Has he been right at all?
He's been right on the last 3 years actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, way to go, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go, Bill. The party really gets going this weekend in Unadilla with many activities, including a parade tomorrow at 2 p.m.
And that's followed by the crowning of a king and queen as groundhog royalty.
We were saying, I think Bill's a little stuffy.
He is a little
stiff.
stuffy, but something that isn't stuffy is Percy,
Percy.
the guinea pig. So what
that was
did
so
Percy
fun.
have to say too? Well, you know what? He agrees with Bill. So he says spring comes, you know, early at least.
Yeah.
So Audra Moore, our weather anchor, also on Morning Blend this morning, they had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so they brought in a guinea pig who is put up for adoption, which is great. So if anybody would like this little beautiful little guinea pig, he looks so cute. I know, yeah, little furry friend.
Sorry, Phil.
Yeah, I know, Phil.
I'm just not going to pay attention to your forecast,
I like our
Phil.
prognosticators.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a much better job. So what do things look like here, at least over the next 30 days? The rest of the month of February. Right now, it looks like we'll either be near or slightly cooler than normal with our temperatures. The warmest air off to the west of us, so it looks fairly seasonal. And as far as precipitation goes, it looks like we could be either below or above. Right now, I would say, at least for the next week or so, chances for some snow in the forecast, but it does appear that things might shut down here the middle part of the month, and we'll be looking at some drier conditions. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, officially 6 weeks away from spring beginning. The official kickoff 46 days from today. We did have some snow this morning, so it did feel a lot more like winter early in the day. Didn't really leave a whole lot, a little dusting on the ground that melted pretty quickly. Now the temperatures have risen to above freezing. All of this has exited off to the east of us. The cloud cover, though, has been pretty stubborn. It's been hanging around for most of the day. Now we have another front off to the north of us, and this is going to generate another round of some sprinkles and even some snow showers as we go into Sunday morning, and also usher in a big drop in our temperatures as we go into the tail end of the weekend. Right now, though, we've been enjoying a nice big warm up in comparison to where we were this morning. We started off with 7. We've now jumped up to above freezing here in the metro. Sioux Falls sitting at 27. The coldest air still off to the east of us. Minneapolis at 8. But I have to show you these numbers back to the west of us. It has warmed to 40 degrees in North Platte. The warmer air back to the west will be heading our way tomorrow. So yeah, signs of spring right around the corner. Tomorrow we're going to be in the mid to even upper 40s. Right now, still on the cool side, 33 degrees. South wind, it has been steady at 17 miles an hour. Now that has ushered in some warmer air and will for tomorrow, but then we have a much colder air mass that will be arriving. Fluctuating temperatures, that roller coaster ride will continue into the weekend, above normal to below normal, and even into next week. Chances for snow will also be this weekend. Again, late Saturday night going into Sunday, and we still have a very active weather pattern even going into next week. As far as this latest storm system to impact us, it'll be arriving by tomorrow afternoon. We're going to go from south winds to northwest winds. Now again, not a huge change in temperatures for tomorrow. We actually will warm up in advance of this front coming in. Slight chance for some sprinkles early in the day. Rain showers, not a whole lot of precipitation, so I don't expect any major travel concerns for us for tomorrow. However, notice all this moisture back to the northwest of us. That's what's going to keep pushing to the south. And as we go into the overnight, late Saturday night into early Sunday morning, we will see some light snow showers developing. Totals right now look to be on the light side, but we still have more chances for snow in the forecast as we go into Monday, Tuesday, and even Friday of next week. Here's this big ridge of high pressure. It parks itself right on top of us for Sunday afternoon, and you're going to notice the change going from the 40s into the teens for afternoon highs. Our snow forecast still preliminary on these numbers, but it looks to be on the light side, a tenth to maybe a quarter of an inch across the metro. I think a little bit higher amounts further to the south between Beatrice and even around the Lincoln area. Again, this is just through Sunday morning, so we'll see more snow accumulating for Monday into Tuesday, but right now this is going through Sunday morning. So we're looking at very light totals. I don't think it's going to cause any major problems for Sunday morning if you are heading to Mass or to church. We do need some moisture though. We've only seen about 7 inches so far for the snow season, and we are down by almost 9 inches right now, so we need to make up some serious ground. Temperatures here not too bad, not nearly as cold as it has been. Front arrives in the afternoon. We still managed to make it into the 40s, and check out this forecast tomorrow. 44 in Boys Town, Bennington, Elkhorn, and Millard for the afternoon highs. 26 degrees for tonight, not nearly as cold as it has been. 45 for the afternoon high for tomorrow. In the next 3 days, well, we're going to see those temperatures going from 45 down to 17 degrees, and then 30 as we go into Monday. Chances for snow definitely will be increasing and picking up here, and we continue to keep that chance around into next week.
Coming up at 6, even local cell phone numbers may no longer be safe. How scammers are using familiar area codes to target people and businesses, and what you can do to protect yourself. That's tonight at 6.
Stay with us. Live look outside right now. Very beautiful on this Friday evening. Jen's Up is back with a look at your weekend forecast.
The Toyota Drive to Victory sales event is here. The 2018 RAV4 is victorious over its competition because Toyota Safety Sense comes standard at no extra cost. To get similar safety features in the Nissan Rogue, you'd have to pay $6,580 more. When it comes to RAV4, your safety comes standard. Get great leases or low APRs on a new 2018 RAV4. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Don't miss Legacy Homes Valentine's Open House, Saturday, February 10th from 11 to 3. Come explore hands-on displays and win prizes during the Valentine's Open House Saturday, February 10th at the Legacy Homes Design Studio, 120th and McDermott across from Cabela's.
Get super savings during Menards Super Sale. Add beauty and value to your kitchen with quartz countertop. It requires no sealing and is chip, scratch, and stain resistant. Choose from 18 different color options starting at $34.99 a square foot. Choose from the largest selection of in-stock cabinet hardware. The American Diner Collection has stainless steel knobs for only $4.49 each. Or get these 3-inch pull handles for just $4.69 each during Menards Super Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
We're here to inspire you with the largest collection of home goods anywhere, no matter what you need or want. Furniture, flooring, appliances, and electronics. It's all in one time and money-saving place. Nebraska Furniture Mart. Come explore our store. See, touch, test, make it your own. Find it quick with help from trained sales professionals. The basics, the best, the finishing touches. Nebraska Furniture Mart. We make the place you live, the place you love.
Mom, if my knee doesn't get better, I'm not even gonna play Saturday.
These should help. I got them when I threw my back out.
Are those your painkillers? I shouldn't be taking those.
I got them from the doctor. What's the worst that could happen?
Seriously? Lock them up or whatever.
All right. I'll find out how to get rid of them. Probably shouldn't have them in the house anyway.
Tonight on KMTV, MacGyver, Hawaii Five-0, Blue Bloods. Then stay for 3 News Now live at 10. This primetime lineup sponsored by Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Millard, thanks for watching KMTV3.
Well, a mild start to the weekend, a chance for some sprinkles, but a better chance for snow early Sunday morning and much colder with a high of only 17.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
Looks like you're not sleeping well.
Yeah. How did you know? Hey, Megan!
What? Hey, you're that guy.
The My Pillow guy.
That's right, and I'm here to help you get the best sleep of your lives. Oh, you have a down pillow. Here's the problem with down pillows. You lay there, you feel comfortable, and guess what? It goes down, and you got one bent neck. So this pillow's no good, and I see you sleeping on memory foam.
Right.
Well, I'll show you what's wrong with that idea.
Okay.
Sleep's all about too high or too low, and I'm going to show you where your comfort level would be.
So, you know, that feels better.
Right, that's better, but I'm not going to sit and hold this all day. So every morning you're getting up like, you know, it's not good. Just like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. I had tried every pillow out there and none of them worked. That's why I invented My Pillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck aligned. My Pillow will hold its shape all night long, regardless of your sleep position, for the best sleep of your life.
It feels great to wake up in the morning and feel well rested. It's shocking to me that a pillow could make this big of a difference in my life.
I make all my pillows in my home state of Minnesota, and I back them with my 60-day money-back guarantee. My Pillow has a 10-year warranty, and it's machine washable and dryable. Sleep is one of the most important things to your health, and My Pillow is one of the most important things to your sleep.
Call or go to mypillow.com. Use the promo code and save over 50% with Mike's 4-pack. You'll get 2 My Pillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. It's one of his best offers ever.
You're sleeping better.
Much better.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
If you're a fan of CBS Sunday Morning,
then you're going to love Omaha Sunday Morning. With our content partners at the Omaha World Herald, we bring you local stories that inform and inspire.
It's his final chemo treatment at the Nebraska Med Center.
Start your Sunday with Omaha Sunday Morning.
followed by CBS Sunday Morning.
Sunday morning starting at 7:30 right here on KMTV3.
Neola, thanks for watching KMTV3.
The worst day for the Dow in more than 2 years. Also tonight, it's out. The House Intelligence Chair releases a controversial memo alleging anti-Trump bias.
I think it's a disgrace.
An angry father lunges at Larry Nassar, who victimized his daughters.
The squeezer-scrubber combination.
And Steve Hartman with a man who works minor miracles with major appliances. Old ones, anyway.
You know how to turn this on?
Absolutely not.
This is the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor.
Good evening. It was a bad end to a bad week on Wall Street. The Dow plunged 666 points today, or 2.5%. That is the biggest percentage drop in a year and a half. For the week, the blue chip index is off more than 4%. Even with the losses, the Dow is still ahead 3.25% for the year. That's how good 2018 has been so far. So what rattled the markets today? It is a question for CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Jill, a lot of folks have been waiting to see when and if this correction might happen. What happened today?
We had some disappointing corporate earnings, but, the reality is there was a real fear that the economy is growing faster than expected and that could lead to higher interest rates. That was the real factor that seemed to spook the markets. Before the open, we had a strong January jobs report, 200,000 positions added. Unemployment rate remains at a 17-year low. Most importantly, we have increasing wages, 2.9% from a year ago. That's the fastest pace since the recession. And that jump in wages, it could be an early warning sign that the economy is heating up, and that could lead to inflation. Remember, to keep prices in check, the Fed may have to increase interest rates more quickly than anticipated. That said, of course, both interest rates and inflation do remain quite low still.
Right. So the wages up, economy accelerating, you think good news, but obviously other things going on here. Somebody sees what happens today on Wall Street. The reaction, if you're an investor, is what?
The reaction is, if I don't need my money for 5 years, I'm a long-term investor, I feel great, stick to your game plan, don't upend it. But if you need your money within a year, maybe you have to pay a tuition bill, maybe you've got to put a home down payment on a house that you want to buy, that's the moment where I say, look, you never should have been in the market to begin with, cut the risk, get out, and don't tempt fate.
All right, good advice, Jill Schlesinger. Thanks very much. It has been the talk of Washington for weeks, and today Republicans released a memo from the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee about the Russia investigation. It alleges anti-Trump bias by the FBI. Nancy Cordes now has more on what's in the memo and the president's reaction to it.
I think it's terrible. You want to know the truth? I think it's a disgrace.
With the president's approval, Republicans released their 4-page memo alleging a troubling breakdown of legal processes at the start of the Russia investigation.
A lot of people should be ashamed of themselves, and much worse than that.
The memo claims that FBI agents relied primarily on a politically motivated dossier compiled by former British spy Christopher Steele when they sought permission to surveil Trump campaign foreign policy advisor Carter Page just before the 2016 election. The memo says that when agents went before a secret FISA court judge, they did not mention Steele was ultimately working on behalf of and paid by the DNC and Clinton campaign to the tune of about $160,000.
Transparency is the best backstop to corruption.
House Republicans described it as a breach of civil liberties.
And to my knowledge, this is the first time in American history that the FBI and Justice Department have been weaponized through the actions of a political party.
The FBI opposed the memo's release, citing grave concerns about material omissions of fact. And the top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee told reporters by phone the FBI had revealed Steele's Democratic ties.
This wasn't about oversight. This is about telling a political story that's helpful to the president. It's about telling a political story that's designed to injure the work of the special counsel and to discredit it.
The GOP memo was written by aides to House Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes, a member of the president's transition team.
I have an obligation to the American people when we see FISA abuse. The American citizens that are represented before this court have to be protected.
But FBI agents knew Russians were courting Carter Page 3 years before the dossier was written. Fired FBI Director James Comey tweeted today, "That's it? Dishonest and misleading memo wrecked the House Intel Committee, destroyed trust within intelligence community. For what?" Former CIA Director Leon Panetta told CBS Justice and Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Begays this unprecedented release could have far-reaching effects.
All of this sends a terrible message to our allies who are going to worry about sharing classified information that is so easily released as part of this political effort.
Democrats have written their own 10-page rebuttal to the GOP memo, but it is still awaiting declassification. CBS News obtained late this afternoon an email written by the FBI director to his workforce, reassuring them, Jeff, quote, "I stand with you."
Nancy Cordes on Capitol Hill. Nancy, thank you. This note, Republican Congressman Trey Gowdy of South Carolina is Margaret Brennan's guest this Sunday on Face the Nation. His first interview since announcing his retirement from the House. There was a dramatic moment in a Michigan courtroom today. The father of 3 of Larry Nassar's victims tried to attack the former gymnastics doctor at his latest sentencing hearing for sexual abuse. Adriana Diaz is there.
With no coverage, no gloves, underwear and pants down to my thighs.
An anguished father heard for the first time exactly how Larry Nassar sexually assaulted his daughters when they were teenagers.
And you put your ungloved hands all over my rear and slipped your thumb into the most private area of my body.
And it was just too much to bear.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon.
I have
Would you do that?
That is not how
yes or no? Well, I'm going to have to get something out.
Stay down. Stay down, Tiger. Stay down. Let me have it, son of a stay down. I want that.
People could be heard crying in the courtroom as Margraves was restrained and later escorted out in handcuffs.
I lost control. I apologize 100 times.
Hours later, Margraves was back in the courtroom facing contempt charges.
I came here in support of my daughters. I got to hear that, and I look over here, and Larry Nassar's shaking his head no, like it didn't happen. Who would put themselves through this?
Those charges were thrown out. We spoke with him after his release.
I am no hero. My daughters are the heroes, and all the other victims.
Later, Margraves told us what he wanted to do alone in a room with Nassar.
I did not think about wanting to kill him, but I did want to inflict some pain.
You were trying to help your daughters by sending them to this doctor. Is there a feeling of remorse or even guilt?
Yes, there is a lot of it. I ended up delivering, unknowingly, all 3 of my daughters to a demon that had his own personal, twisted, sick agenda. I'll never forgive that guy.
Today was the last day of victim statements. Nassar will be sentenced on Monday in this final case against him. That jail time will be in addition to the 60 years he received for child pornography and up to 175 years in the first sexual assault case against him. Jeff?
Adriana Diaz, thank you very much. The flu epidemic is taking a heavy toll on children this year. At least 53 have died so far. That is more than 3 times as many deaths as there were at this point last year. Dr. John LaPook has more on this.
When 5-year-old Eli Snook, a healthy young boy, came down with a high fever, his parents, Leota and Aaron, took him to an urgent care center. He was diagnosed with the flu and prescribed both an antibiotic and the antiviral medication Tamiflu.
After he got well from the flu, a few days later he got sick again.
So sick, doctors placed him in a medically induced coma. He died last Saturday, one of at least 53 pediatric deaths related to the flu. Dr. Ann Schuckett is the acting director of the CDC.
It's very important if you notice that a person is getting better from their flu and then suddenly gets worse, for them to seek medical attention.
According to the CDC, this flu season continues to rival the worst in recent years, with some shortages of antiviral medications.
When we look at our hospitalizations in children, half of the children don't have underlying medical problems, so we urge parents to make sure their kids get vaccinated against flu every year.
The CDC stands by that recommendation despite a report finding the effectiveness of the vaccine this season in Canada against the most common strain has only been 17%.
It wouldn't surprise me if we find the same thing here in the U.S.
The rapid test for influenza is often negative even when somebody has the flu. So the CDC advises considering antiviral medication like Tamiflu as soon as possible if a patient has flu symptoms.
Interesting cases when the test is negative. I know concerning for a lot of patients.
Still have to think about the flu.
Dr. LaPook, thanks very much. Douglas Haig sold ammunition to the gunman in the Las Vegas massacre, and today Haig of Arizona was charged with illegally making armor-piercing bullets. A number of these bullets were found in the hotel room where the gunman opened fire in October, killing 58 people. Haig says there was nothing unusual about the gunman's purchase and no way of knowing what he was planning. Lawmakers in Florida are considering a bill that would make their state the first to ban marriages for children, anyone under 18. Manuel Bajorquez tonight tells us the woman behind this campaign was forced to marry before she was a teenager.
This is Sherry Johnson's wedding photo. She was 11.
I'm 11 years old. How do I understand and know what marriage is about? I did what my mother said that I had to do.
And what a judge said.
And what a judge
was legal.
Right.
She says a judge signed off on the marriage between her and the 20-year-old church deacon who raped her and made her a mother by age 10. She divorced when she was 17 and the mother of 5.
I feel the whole system failed me. It wasn't just one person, and it wasn't just one source.
Johnson is now 58 and has spent the last 5 years trying to get Florida lawmakers to close what she calls loopholes in the law that put minors in marriages.
So thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Currently, no state bans marriage before the age of 18. It's estimated nearly 250,000 minors were married in the U.S. from 2000 to 2015. The majority girls married to adult men, often with significant age differences. Florida Senator Lisbeth Benaquisto sponsored a bill to ban marriage before 18 after hearing Johnson's story.
People just don't believe that this happens in modern-day America.
What allows it to happen?
It is the provision that if the child is under 16, the parents can go before a judge and a judge can give their blessing for that child to be married.
We're responsible for our children. They look up to us for decisions, then we have to teach them and protect them.
The Florida Senate unanimously approved the child marriage ban, but it must also clear the House, where one exemption would allow pregnant 16 and 17-year-olds to marry if their partners are no more than 2 years older. Johnson vows to fight that. Jeff?
Manuel Bajorquez, thank you very much. Now to some other stories we're following in the evening news feed. Los Angeles police say the shooting at a middle school yesterday was an accident. They say a 12-year-old girl had a semi-automatic pistol in her backpack and it went off when she dropped the bag. A student shot in the head is in critical condition. 4 other people have minor injuries. The 12-year-old is charged with negligent discharge of a firearm. The FAA and the FBI are investigating an apparent close call involving a drone and a jetliner near Las Vegas. Video from the drone appears to show a Frontier Airlines Airbus flying just a few feet beneath it. The jet is believed to have been on approach to McCarran Airport. If found, the drone operator could be fined for flying in restricted airspace. And there is much more ahead on this Friday on the CBS Evening News.
Organizers of this year's Super Bowl are hoping 1 million fans embrace the cold.
Remembering Dennis Edwards, a pioneer of psychedelic soul.
87-year-old Lee Maxwell had to build a warehouse to store all the objects of his obsession.
No!
Behind that one warehouse, there's a second warehouse.
I told you it was insane.
Oh, and there's the closing bell.
I hate missing out after hours.
Not anymore. TD Ameritrade lets you trade select securities 24 hours a day, 5 days a week.
That's amazing.
It's a pretty big deal.
So I can trade all night long.
All night long.
Is that Lionel Richie?
Let's reopen the market. Mr. Ritchie, would you ring the 24-5 bell?
Sure can, Jim.
Trade 24/5. Only with TD Ameritrade.
When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Chewy Bites. Fast relief in every bite. Crunchy outside, chewy inside. Tums Chewy Bites.
It's bountiful, grain-free. It's so healthy. Farm-raised chicken. It's good chicken. Here come the accents. Blueberries and pumpkin. Wow. And spinach. That was my favorite bite so far.
Beneful grain-free. Out with the grain, in with the farm-raised chicken. Healthful, flavorful, Beneful.
When you have a cold, stuff happens. Nothing relieves more symptoms than Alka-Seltzer Plus Maximum Strength Liquid Gels.
I'm on the move all day long, and sometimes I don't eat the way I should. So I drink Boost.
Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink has 15 grams of protein to help maintain muscle and 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D. Boost High Protein. Be up for it.
We're wired with 100 billion nerve cells, so when aggravated nerves cause pain, use Nusalon Pos Lidocaine Plus. One anesthetic numbs nerves fast, while maximum strength lidocaine calms them for hours. Nusalon Pos Lidocaine Plus. Also try our lidocaine patch.
Coaching means making tough choices.
Jim, you're in.
But when you have high blood pressure and need cold medicine that works fast, the choice is simple. Coricidin HBP is the #1 brand that gives powerful cold symptom relief without raising your blood pressure. Coricidin HBP.
It is a good thing Super Bowl 52 will be played indoors. Jamie Yukas in Minneapolis shows us why.
Even by Minnesota standards, Super Bowl Sunday will be shivering. The predicted kickoff temperature outside, just 9 degrees.
I have 3 shirts on and a coat.
It can be, very cold, but it's very pleasant.
Kevin Smith is part of the Super Bowl host committee. He says there's a plan for fans who didn't prepare for cold.
We have a level 1 trauma center within a couple blocks of U.S. Bank Stadium if anybody has a problem.
Organizers of this year's Super Bowl are hoping 1 million fans embrace the cold, what they call the bold north.
How many layers do you have on?
I think 4 layers.
Eric Dayton helped coin the phrase. He wants to turn the state's snow and ice into a strength.
A lot of people kept saying Super Bowl in February in Minnesota. This sounds like a terrible idea.
Well, I think it's a great idea, and it's been so fun to see all of these out-of-towners outdoors experiencing what we have to offer.
Okay.
Like ziplining across the Mississippi River 100 feet in the air. All week, many of the activities have been held outdoors, with people showing up layered up.
And a winter carnival is being held outside in St. Paul, where it's expected 500,000 people will come see this ice palace.
The city's full of energy right now, and it's fun to see all these people coming to our part of the country, and hopefully they're going to go home with great stories to tell.
The true test is whether visitors will come back to the cold without the bowl. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Layering is the key, always. Coming up here, we remember soul legend Dennis Edwards.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
Man, my sinuses. It's like my head's in a fog.
I mean, could you be any more dramatic?
I've had it. I'm taking Mucinex Sinus Max.
That stuff's all the same.
This is different. It fights pressure, pain, and congestion.
Why, thank you. Those are my 3 best qualities.
Get the straps.
Carl, you know that I get carsick. Carl!
Mucinex Sinus Max with a triple action formula that fights pain, congestion, and pressure. Start the relief, ditch the misery. Let's end this.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench? Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
You might take something for your heart or joints, but do you take something for your brain? With an ingredient originally found in jellyfish, Prevagen is the #1 selling brain health supplement in drugstores nationwide. Prevagen, the name to remember.
The day after chemo might mean a trip back to the doctor's office, just for a shot. But why go back there when you can stay home with Neulasta Onpro?
Strong chemo can put you at risk of serious infection. Neulasta helps reduce infection risk by boosting your white blood cell count, which strengthens your immune system. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from 17% to 1%, a 94% decrease. Applied the day of chemo, Neulasta Onpro is designed to deliver Neulasta the next day. Neulasta is for certain cancer patients receiving strong chemotherapy. Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to Neulasta or Neupogen, filgrastim. Ruptured spleen, sometimes fatal as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred. Report abdominal or shoulder tip pain, trouble breathing, or allergic reactions to your doctor right away. In patients with sickle cell disorders, serious, sometimes fatal crises can occur. The most common side effect is bone and muscle ache.
So why go back there? If you'd rather be home, ask your doctor about Neulasta on
The KMTV 3 News Now Weather Alert Team, using the best technology, keeping you connected to road conditions and school closings, on air and on your phone. Jennifer Zeppelin, Ryan McPike, Audra Moore, and Mark Stitz, keeping you safe with up-to-the-minute forecasts. Wherever you are, stay connected with the KMTV 3 News Now Weather Alert Team.
The Hawaii state worker fired for sending that false alarm last month is telling his story. He says he was convinced the missile alert was real, and he asked that he not be identified.
Well, it's been utter hell for me and my family. The death threats coming through the agency, and I haven't been able to eat or sleep very well. Yeah, it's been very, very tough.
The worker told federal investigators he did not hear the words exercise, exercise on a recording announcing the drill. A leading man of Motown has died. Dennis Edwards joined the Temptations in 1968. He was the driving force behind a string of hits, including I Can't Get Next to You, Ball of Confusion, and Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Dennis Edwards died last night. He was 74 years old. Up next here, Steve Hartman's Antiques Roadshow.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is for people who still have symptoms of Crohn's disease after trying other medications. And the majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief, and many achieved remission in as little as 4 weeks.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Are cream conditioners bringing your hair down? Switch to new Pantene Light as Air Foam Conditioner, full of rich Pro-V nutrients for 100% conditioning, 0% weight. New Pantene Foam Conditioner.
All right, I brought in high protein to help get us moving and help you feel more strength and energy in just 2 weeks. I'll take that.
Ensure high protein with 16 grams of protein and 4 grams of sugar. Ensure, always be you.
Patrick woke up with back pain, but he has work to do, so he took a leave. If he'd taken Tylenol, he'd be stopping for more pills right now. Only Aleve has the strength to stop tough pain for up to 12 hours with just 1 pill. Aleve, all day strong.
So, that goal you've been saving for, you can do it. We can do this.
At Fidelity, our online planning tools are clear and straightforward, so you can plan for retirement while saving for the things you want to do today.
If you're 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia that can take you out of the game for weeks, even if you're healthy. Pneumococcal pneumonia is a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that in severe cases can lead to hospitalization. It may hit quickly, without warning, causing you to miss out on the things you enjoy most. Prevnar 13 is not a treatment for pneumococcal pneumonia. It's a vaccine you can get to help protect against it. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. You should not receive Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. If you have a weakened immune system, you may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most common side effects were pain, redness and swelling at the injection site, limited arm movement, fatigue, headache, muscle pain, joint pain, less appetite, vomiting, fever, chills, and rash. Help protect yourself against pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 13.
Scam alert, the high-tech way crooks are stealing identities and how to keep it from happening to you. Plus, little hats, big hearts. What volunteers are doing to raise awareness and support moms.
It's a clean kill this week for Steve Hartman. He tracked down the real Maytag repairman on the road.
In the shadow of the Colorado Rockies, we found a man with a mountainous dilemma.
Well, it doesn't look too intimidating from here.
What to do with all the antique washing machines he has collected.
You've got a problem.
I do have a problem.
87-year-old Lee Maxwell had to build a warehouse to store all the objects of his obsession.
First automatic, 1937.
And what's more is there's more.
No.
Way more.
No.
Behind that one warehouse, there's a second warehouse. Again, filled with nothing but washing machines.
I told you it was insane.
It is one of the largest personal collections of anything in America. And Lee says it all began, innocently enough, with this one Maytag. He had just retired as an electrical engineering professor and was on a road trip with his wife Barbara when he saw this at a farm auction in Iowa.
And by the time we got to Maine, we had 4. And that's where the furs started to fly.
Yeah.
She was thinking bad things about me.
Yeah.
That I
Very
lost
bad
my
things.
rocker, and I think maybe I did.
By the time they got home, Lee had bought a dozen more and a trailer to haul them.
There's a squeezer-scrubber combination.
Today, there are nearly 1,500 different machines in his collection.
Goes up and down.
Ones that you power,
Push it.
and ones that use power.
So you put your sheep on here.
Yeah.
He's even got a model of one that was never mass-produced, that ran on child labor.
So there would be one kid here, and they would just go.
One here, and then they'd teeter-totter. Isn't that inventive?
But what I found most amazing is that he restored all those machines.
But this is what they look like.
He finds them in this condition and then spends a couple weeks fixing up each one, working up to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So what's your dilemma now?
Trying to find a home for it so the thing can be preserved.
Do you think about this often?
I do, every day. You need a Steve Hartman or a Bill Gates or something.
He'd like to find a benefactor.
Preferably a Bill Gates.
Someone who could build a proper museum dedicated to the human ingenuity behind the washing machines we have today.
Got a question for you.
Indeed, you can't leave here without being struck by how much washing machines have changed over the years.
You know how to turn this on?
Absolutely not.
I didn't think so.
And how men are pretty much the same. Steve Hartman, on the road in Eaton, Colorado.
You tell me.
Join the club. That is the CBS Evening News this week. I'm Jeff Glor. Have a great weekend. Good night.
They come at all hours of the day, those robocalls trying to get you to consolidate credit cards or vehicle warranties, but they may be more than just annoying. Scammers are now using local numbers to target area residents and businesses. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Griswold. Craig has the night off. Senior reporter Jake Wazakowski explains how one company has been hacked and what you can do to protect yourself. Jake?
Well, Jenny, the Better Business Bureau says if you have voice over internet protocol instead of a traditional phone system, you may be more susceptible to being hacked. One business is learning that the hard way. Robocalls seem to come in at all hours of the day from all different numbers. The Better Business Bureau says using a local number makes it more likely that you'll pick up. Recently, a phone number associated with Summit Dental was hacked by scammers, and they've been calling people around the metro. The business, with a handful of Omaha locations, used this automated message to warn people.
If you are calling because you have received a phone call from this number, please be aware that our number has been hijacked and being used for spam purposes. Please feel free to block this number. If you're a patient looking to schedule, please stay on the line.
From January 8th through the 31st, White Pages says close to 1,500 possible fraudulent calls were associated with that number. Jim Haggerty, the CEO of the Better Business Bureau of Nebraska, South Dakota, Great Plains, Kansas, and Southwest Iowa, says the scammers use the numbers to make international calls or calls to premium numbers that involve charges. That's not all.
Or it could be used to make calls that appear to be coming from you, your business, to your clients, telling them that maybe there's problems with their automatic payment, they need to update credit card information. I mean, the list could sort of go on and on.
Haggerty says it's a warning to all businesses to contact your IT firm if you have one, and make sure your firewall for your VoIP is as up to date as the one for your computer systems.
Make sure that all of the best practice protections have been installed on their VoIP systems, all the firewall protection is up to date, and that it's been reviewed to make sure that it doesn't have the kind of vulnerabilities that these hackers use in order to gain access.
The BBB also says don't have default passwords on any of your employees' phones. Plus, make sure the passwords are sophisticated, not simple. Reporting live, Jake Wazakowski, 3 News Now.
You could call it a preview of what we may see this weekend. A burst of snow moved through this morning. This is what it looked like around 10 o'clock this morning. It only lasted for a short time, no accumulation, but it was enough to remind you that it is February and really beautiful out there. Meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin joins us now. And you've been talking about the possibility of snow for this weekend. How's it looking now?
Well, we still have that chance. Late Saturday night going into early Sunday morning. But that little wave that came through here early this morning, kind of what we really enjoy seeing. It was kind of a hit and miss pretty quick, ended up drying up pretty quickly. Now it's all off to the east of us. We still have the clouds around. It's been fairly pesky throughout most of the day, but temperatures managed to make it into the 30s this afternoon. Right now, we started the day off with 7, so it was definitely a much nicer recovery in the afternoon. We're down to 32 degrees, but we managed to make it up to 34 this afternoon, and most locations are now starting to drop down into the upper 20s. So still chilly for this time of the year, but not too bad. That steady south wind helping to hold the temperatures up here as we go into the next few hours. But when you do step outside for this evening, it still feels pretty cold, teens and 20s on those wind chill readings. For the rest of this evening, we're looking at temperatures holding steady at around 30 degrees, dropping into the upper 20s here by around 10 o'clock tonight, and they sit there for a good portion of the overnight hours. I'll talk more about those chances for snow because it's a fairly active weather pattern that's going to be setting up here for the next several days. Jenny?
Here's a look at the stories we're tracking right now. A judge sentenced the man who caused a deadly fiery crash on the ramp from I-80 to 680 last summer. 32-year-old Nemayas Garcia Velasco received 10 to 12 years in prison after pleading no contest to vehicular homicide while under the influence of alcohol. Police say Garcia Velasco was speeding and drunk when the van he was driving hit a bridge and caught fire on July 5th. 58-year-old Silvano Torres was in the back of the van and died. The judge also ordered Garcia Velasco's deportation to Mexico. A Potawatomi County judge sentenced John Osborne to 10 years in prison for sexually abusing a 14-year-old girl who was at a sleepover with his daughter in 2014. Osborne was originally convicted in 2015, but a judge ordered a new trial when new evidence in the case surfaced. Osborne's attorney says they will appeal. State lawmakers confirmed Colonel John Boldog's appointment as Nebraska State Patrol Superintendent. Some senators raised concerns about not having detailed answers as to why former Colonel Brad Rice was fired in June following reports of mishandled internal investigations. Boldog, who was sworn into the post in October, has promised to overhaul the State Patrol and make the agency more accountable to the public. Council Bluffs police released more information about yesterday's officer-involved shooting. Officers responded to a complaint about a suspicious car in a lot on East Broadway around 3 yesterday morning. Police say Officer Trevor Benson ordered 21-year-old Dayton Petrie out of the car, and when Benson opened the door, Petrie put the car in reverse and accelerated. Benson was trapped between the door and the car and fired 2 shots, hitting Petrie once. Petrie then drove off and crashed before being arrested. Charges are pending against Petrie, who had an outstanding warrant in Douglas County. Officer Benson is on paid administrative leave. Tranquility Park is about to get a makeover as the city says one of the soccer fields will get a new artificial turf field. Local soccer teams are excited, and it comes during a time when a new bill in the legislature could help drive economic development in that area as well. 3 News Now reporter Nick Starling explains the connection.
Months from now, the Tranquility Park Sports Complex will be a tournament hub, especially in soccer, as they get rid of the real grass and bring in the synthetic turf, among other amenities here.
Tranquility Park is, well, tranquil today. But when the weather warms up, this place is packed full of soccer teams. Soon, one of these fields will go from grass turf into a synthetic field. That's a game changer for teams like Sporting Omaha FC.
Right now, when it rains, chances of all of the city's grass fields being canceled, games canceled on them, is pretty high.
The team's executive director, Tim Bennett, says one season they had to cancel 2 straight weeks because of the weather, and this new turf will help them compete.
We don't have to necessarily worry about rainouts. We don't necessarily have to worry about the time change and the lighting change, that at least there's some games that are able to go on despite those obstacles.
Meanwhile, today in the legislature, Omaha Senator Brett Lindstrom, who represents this district, pushed for a bill to help develop this area.
We're always looking at ways for economic development, and this seemed like an option for us.
Lindstrom's bill would create a turnback tax for sporting facilities with at least 12 fields. Currently, indoor arenas like Ralston and Baxter get this incentive, which takes existing sales tax going to the state and puts it back locally.
It wasn't necessary to say that we have a project coming or that something is going to be done in the near future. It just provides a mechanism through the turnback to facilitate that.
While that bill's future is still in doubt, what is for sure is at least one field will get a facelift, creating excitement in Omaha's soccer community.
People come back because they want to play on good facilities. And so as long as the facilities keep up, people are going to keep coming back and back, and our tournaments are going to grow.
The total cost of this project is roughly $750,000. That will be paid from the Nebraska State Soccer Association, and it should be completed by the end of this year. Reporting at Tranquility Park, Nick Starling, 3 News Now.
The 4th U.S. Navy warship named after the city of Omaha will officially go into service tomorrow. Mayor Gene Stothert, Congressman Don Bacon, former Senator Bob Kerrey, and Susie Buffett will be on hand for the commissioning ceremony for the USS Omaha in San Diego. Buffett helped christen it in December 2015, and she will give the order to man our ship and bring her to life. The littoral combat ship is capable of a top speed of around 50 miles an hour. A group of Army reservists from the metro area is preparing for an overseas deployment. The nearly 100 soldiers and about 300 of their loved ones gathered at Salem Baptist Church near 31st and Lake for a farewell ceremony this morning. They will head first to Fort Bragg, North Carolina for training before being deployed in Kuwait for several months. Reservist Anthony De La Rosa has been through this before.
It helps in a sense to have gone more than once because you know what to expect. But it doesn't get any easier, but it's the catch of the profession.
Here, General John.
De La Rosa's unit hopes to be back home in time for Christmas. As one group of citizen soldiers gets ready to go overseas, another group returned home today. 6 Nebraska National Guard soldiers were welcomed home by friends and family today in Lincoln. Love those hugs. Members of the 641st Aviation Regiment spent the last several months in the Horn of Africa and are glad to be back home in Nebraska.
It's great to be back, to see all the people that supported us throughout our deployment, and to be reunited with our families.
We're really glad to have them home. We're just so blessed and thankful that they got home safely and that nothing too exciting happened, and now it's just normal, just the normal.
Welcome back and thank you for your service. While deployed, the Guardsmen provided aviation support as part of Operation Enduring Freedom, Horn of Africa. Raising awareness about heart health, in a very sweet, warm way. We've told you before about knitting hats for the American Heart Association's Little Hats, Big Hearts campaign. Now see one of the first babies to receive them.
And after a cold start this morning with a low of 7, we did manage to make it to 34 this afternoon. Even warmer temperatures to kick off your weekend, but more on those fluctuating temperatures throughout the weekend coming up after the break.
You're watching KMTV 3 News Now with Jennifer Griswold, Craig Negrelli, Weather Alert Team meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin, and sports with Adam Kruger. This is KMTV 3 News Now, live at 6.
What can stop it now? What stop it? So let's get up, drop the water from above, send it here and there. This heat is hot to bear. Get up, drop the water from above, send it here and there. This heat is hot to bear.
You could give your people Culligan water for $49 per month.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Watch, watch, watch.
You make it for 16-year-olds.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And the parents who worry about them. Going further to help make drivers better drivers.
You saw him, right? Don't freak out on me.
That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get $3,500 cash back on Fusion or 0% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 cash back only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
For all you do, in all the ways you do it, Nebraska Furniture Mart fits your lifestyle. So we have deals in all departments. Every workout, every new addition, every room. Find home furnishings for all your life. This Samsung 4K QLED TV is $1,300 off suggested retail. This reclining sofa with drop-down table is only $449. Use 20-month financing on qualifying purchases. All departments, all categories. Save now at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Plus, enter to win a free trip to Italy.
Now Contour from Cox gets you right to the strange stuff.
Something's coming. Something hungry for blood.
Noble stuff.
The crown must always win. Show me something dramatic.
And orange stuff. Along with the best stuff on cable. Because Netflix is now on Contour.
How awesome is this place?
Just say it.
Black Mirror.
And get right to the fierce, funny, bold, and bingey stuff. Watch it all on Contour from Cox. Now with Netflix.
Don't miss Legacy Homes Valentine's Open House, Saturday, February 10th from 11 to 3. Come explore hands-on displays and win prizes during the Valentine's Open House, Saturday, February 10th at the Legacy Homes Design Studio, 120th and McDermott, across from Cabela's.
The newest members of our community are making a statement. We've told you before how you can knit or crochet hats as part of the American Heart Association's Little Hats, Big Hearts campaign. Today for Your Family Now, we're meeting one of the first babies to receive this adorable gift this year.
Scary, but exciting at the same time, because you created something. I'm gonna start crying. I'm like really emotional. You created something just between us.
Aaron and Ethan Blackledge are living the emotions many first-time parents feel. Penelope, the first baby born at Methodist Women's Hospital this month, is perfectly healthy. But Mom knows that's not always the case. She was born with a heart defect.
I was born with a hole in my heart, yep. So I had a hole in my heart till I was 5, and then it just closed up.
1 in 110 babies are born with a congenital heart defect.
The American Heart Association's Little Hats, Big Hearts campaign is raising awareness about heart health. They called on the community to knit and crochet hats for babies born in February. They'll be handed out at 28 participating hospitals in Nebraska and Council Bluffs.
We have so many wonderful volunteers and friends of the Heart Association who are donating both their time and talent.
2,000 little red hats will be distributed throughout Nebraska, and a lot are going to Methodist Women's Hospital. That's because 1 in every 5 babies born in the state are born right here.
Last year we gave out 408, and we anticipate doing something very close to that this year.
Alexa Lewis, who is a service leader for the Mother-Baby Unit, appreciates that the campaign also triggers parents to think about themselves.
It's that personal touch, that personal story, reminding them to slow down and take their health as serious as their child's health.
A reminder moms and dads may need when they're holding so much of their heart in their arms.
Definitely puts things in perspective. So it's not all about us anymore. It's more focused on her.
What a sweetheart. They've done this campaign for a few years, so if you knit or crochet, you might want to start thinking about next year. You may have noticed more people wearing red today. That's because it is the American Heart Association's National Wear Red Day. It's all to raise awareness for heart disease. 1 in 3 women die of heart disease and stroke each year. The American Heart Association's Heart Ball is tomorrow. KMTV is a proud sponsor, and I am honored to be the MC for the evening. We saw some pictures there from last year, and look at this. This is a live picture tonight of the Woodman Tower, and you can see it is aglow in red because of the American Heart Association.
And we all were showing our support today as
yes.
we're wearing red. Everybody behind the scenes, in front of the camera. Yeah, the entire news operation from news to even radio. It's been really great to see
Everyone
the
wants
support.
to support the cause.
And here's a look at it.
Look at
so
that.
A big group of us this afternoon. We had our crew early this morning too. So yeah, just a big way of showing our support and getting the message out about the awareness.
It really is important just to wear red and say, you know, get your heart checked if you have any concerns.
And your family has been touched by that.
Yes, my mom has AFib, and so it's something that she takes medication for, and now she's doing fine.
And I know you've got your 2 kiddos in red today too.
Yep.
So great way of showing support for that, and good luck to your mom. I know she's doing great. So let's go ahead and talk more about the weather right now. We did have a little wave move through, producing a light snow showers early this morning, about 10 o'clock this morning. Just added a little dusting. That melted pretty quickly. Now all that's off to the east of us. Dry conditions for this evening. The clouds have been pretty tough though. They've been hanging in there. We have another front getting organized. It's off to the north of us. It's getting its act together, and it will be dropping down to the south here as we go into tomorrow afternoon, providing us with a wind shift and also much colder air. Along with that, look at all that precipitation that's moving through Montana right now. Eventually, all of that will be impacting us. Temperatures today, not too bad considering that we started off with 7. We managed to make it into the 30s this afternoon. Warmer air back to the west of us. That's coming our way tomorrow. It's going to be a mild start to the weekend, and then we see a big drop in our temperatures as we go into Sunday. So enjoy tomorrow. Temperature wise, it looks fantastic. We're sitting at 32 degrees right now, as we were just showing you our Harrah's Casino cam looking back to the west of downtown, and you can see the Woodman Tower lit up in red for Go Red, wear Go Red. And again, a beautiful day for it. South winds at about 14 miles an hour, and we're looking at some changes going into the weekend. Fluctuating temperatures, chance for snow this weekend, snow and cold even into next week. So a very active weather pattern setting up here. As far as the overall forecast for tonight, we are looking at temperatures staying much warmer than they have been. And then we go into the afternoon, the winds start off with the south, and then as we go into the overnight hours, this cold front passes through. Notice that we might see just a couple of sprinkles sort of developing here early in the day and maybe even lingering into the afternoon. I just don't anticipate a whole lot of precipitation for tomorrow, and not going to have any major travel concerns across the area. This front, however, will race through pretty quickly, and will go from a south wind to a northwest wind. Not a huge jump in our wind speeds, which is good news, but temperatures will start to cool off behind the storm system. Clouds will be on the increase. The storm system will bring in a chance for snow late tomorrow night going into early Sunday morning, and I don't think it's going to last for very long, so that's some good news. However, the chances for snow will definitely be picking up here as we go into the early morning hours on Sunday. Right now we're expecting 43 degrees from Crescent Hill. That's tomorrow afternoon. Council Bluffs 44, Ralston, La Vista, Papillion, Millard, and even the Elkhorn area. So most locations will jump into the 40s, so almost about a 10-degree jump in temperatures in comparison to today. 26 for tonight. Tomorrow afternoon in Omaha, 45 for the afternoon high, I think, with mostly cloudy skies. Again, a bit of a wind shift as we go through the afternoon. In the next 3 days, the chances for snow definitely rising. Tomorrow, again, only a slight chance that we'll see a little bit of activity. Some sprinkles, maybe a little brief little wintry mix taking place here, but I think a better chance that as we go into overnight, really midnight or so, and early Sunday morning, I think most of this should be out of here by around lunchtime on Sunday, but we could see some light accumulation. Totals right now look to be about maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. Don't think it's going to cause any problems if you do have travel plans early Sunday morning. Another chance possibly around noon or after on Monday. Again, maybe some light accumulation here with each round or each wave coming through. Tuesday, also a chance early on Tuesday morning, and another chance late Thursday into Friday. So we do need some snow. We are way down for the year. We're down by almost 8.7 inches.
Quickly. It doesn't feel that way. I think it's just because it's been so cold.
It's been so cold, and we have seen a little amounts of snow here and there,
Yeah.
so it's just kept it very active, but yeah, hasn't really amounted up to a whole lot.
Interesting. Thanks, Jen. One of the state's best high school football players will now not be signing with Nebraska. Adam Kruger has more on the former Husker commit and where he might be headed next in sports.
She's getting some great press.
40 entrepreneurs that are under 40.
Just one problem.
You're over 40.
Yeah, that can be fixed.
I made it!
She went undercover at the Long Beach Aquarium and a jellyfish just attached itself to her face.
A new Kevin Can Wait. Then, the wife got you the Valentine's gift of a lifetime, and you got her nothing.
Should I be worried? You should be changing your name and moving to Canada.
New Man with a Plan after a new Kevin Can Wait, CBS Monday.
Omaha. Thanks for watching KMTV3.
There are only 24 hours in a day. Invest in you. Make the most of your 24 hours with Genesis Health Clubs. Get 24% off membership at Genesis through February 15th. GenesisHealthClubs.com.
The Toyota Drive to Victory sales event is here. The 2018 RAV4 is victorious over its competition because Toyota's Safety Sense comes standard at no extra cost. To get similar safety features in a Nissan Rogue, you'd have to pay $6,580 more. When it comes to RAV4, your safety comes standard. Get great leases or low APRs on a new 2018 RAV4. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You can smell it. You can almost taste it. You know exactly what you want. Your instincts demand it. Give them a reason to rejoice. Tonight, get your Longhorn favorites, like our outlaw ribeye, Parmesan-crusted chicken, or the Longhorn salmon. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
There are only 24 hours in a day. Invest in you. Make the most of your 24 hours with Genesis Health Clubs. Get 24% off membership at Genesis through February 15th. GenesisHealthClubs.com.
Now, your Omaha Sports Insider Report.
The Huskers recruiting class is one player less today. York's Masry Maypew will likely not sign with Nebraska because of academic issues. That's what his high school coach told our partners at the Omaha World Herald. Maypew might enroll at Iowa Western in the fall and use class currently at 19 commits. After all the recruits are signed, sealed, and delivered, the Big Red coaches will be across the Cornhusker State, telling fans all about them. Scott Frost and Bill Moose will speak at a private reception Wednesday night in Omaha. Most of the other NU assistants will hold an event at the Rococo Theater in Lincoln Wednesday night for season ticket holders. Then on Thursday, the staff will be spread out across 5 different towns across Nebraska. Coach Frost will have a signing day press conference next Wednesday at 3 p.m. To watch that and to see where all the assistants will be on Thursday, you can head to omahasportsinsider.com. Basketball now, where the Creighton men are coming off a 20-point loss to top-ranked Villanova last night. The Wildcats set a school record with 19 three-pointers. The Jays, meanwhile, dropped to 4th place in the Big East Conference.
We just got to keep on plugging. It's one game. We did some good things offensively at times, and defensively weren't good enough, and we know what the gap is, and we've got 6 weeks to close that gap before the Big East tournament.
The Jays are at DePaul next Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Nebraska women moved up to 2nd place in the Big Ten last night. The Huskers won their 5th game in a row, taking down Illinois 62-47. And you held the Illini to just 10 points in the first 2 quarters, the fewest allowed in a first half ever by a Nebraska women's team.
We've been talking for a long time about wanting to be able to hang our hat on defense and being able to know that that's something that we can control. We could have executed a lot better offensively.